Trâm cũng như là các bạn khán giả đang trên màn ảnh nhỏ của Việt Nam Sport TV. Chúng ta đã quay trở lại với VCS mùa hè 2019. Rất hào hứng thưa các bạn, và càng hào hứng hơn khi mà cái trận đấu đầu tiên ngày hôm nay chúng tôi truyền tải cho quý vị các bạn là một cặp đấu cực kỳ đáng xem giữa hai đội.
Hello everyone, we'll be live with the second day of VCS Summer. Once again, I'm joined today, and for the rest of summer I hope, by my co-host Everyday, and we'll bring you the two series of today with Cerberus against Flash in the first best of three.
Yeah, it should be a good day of games today. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm very hyped that we'll get to finally see some more highlight plays, just like we did yesterday, with Nivan probably standing out with his best play of the day.
Look, one of the most eventful laning phases I've ever seen. 4 solo kills in his lane. He didn't get them, but they were in his lane.
Yeah, he played.
Hopefully we do see. I mean, I'd love to see some more crazy picks. Like, we can make fun of the Queen all we want, but it was interesting.
It was, yeah, it spiced up the pick and ban phase, so hopefully we get to see some more successful pocket picks. He made himself look like a fool in that game, but maybe he's actually onto something there to counter the Aatrox. Aatrox looked dominant yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the big thing, is like, you pull out something like that, if that works, you're, Neven, what a god. Didn't work that time.
It really didn't.
Yeah, we'll see. It might work. Something like that might work out today, or we might have something a bit more standard. Who knows?
We've Team Flash, to elaborate on the name, is actually Sky Gaming from last season. They bought the spot. I'm not quite sure on the details there, if they bought the actual team or just the spot, but they acquired the roster of Sky Gaming, and so if you know Sky Gaming from last split, you can pretty much say as Team Flash is Sky Gaming there. A few additions to the roster, especially in the jungle position. They got rid of Kais and added Djinn from EVOS, so that's one of the big changes. Support position also some changes over there, so we'll get to see how our second place regular season team from last split can perform on this split.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see the few changes that have gone into both the teams, how they work out into this split.
Yeah, and both teams are still looking at Worlds and really want to get there. Cerberus had a very disappointing end to the split, where one best of 3 away from actually making playoffs. And Team Flash, or Sky Gaming, you could say, also with a very disappointing end there, because they dipped quite a bit in the last few series and didn't really have a chance against EVOS in the semifinal, even though they were seeded directly into semifinals. Though, yeah, both teams want to improve upon their spring performance.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing about the split system, obviously. You can, even if you have a disappointing end to that spring split, you come into summer, which is really the crunch split, because you're going into Worlds. But here we are into Champs Select. I think we're probably looking at some pretty standard bans. Do you think Sejuani gets through, or does she get banned?
From looking at yesterday's games, I would guess she's getting banned here. But maybe teams are... Kaiser, wow. Yeah, Slater is... Yeah, Slater is the star ADC from Team Flash, and he loves to play the Kaiser. I think he had 13 games on Kaiser in last season, so not too surprising.
I feel like Kaiser was so much stronger last split.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't like the ban. Of course, give him his Kaiser and pick a stronger ADC. I don't think you need to ban the Kaiser there. Karma.
True, but it could just be a bit of a respect ban. Otherwise, fairly standard. Renekton's a little bit of an off ban, but kind of hints they might be trying to pick something like a Rise top. You know, something that might get bullied.
Yeah, and I also checked YT's scores there, and YT, as well as Cerberus' top laners all together like to play bruisers. Not, I think, one mage game over the whole split, so banning out the Renekton there, probably just a target ban at YT in the top lane.
Alright, that makes sense. Sejuani does get removed, as does Karma.
Aatrox and Irelia open. Oh no, Irelia is banned, so
No,
Aatrox
Irelia
needs
is
to be
banned.
banned.
So
Yeah.
Aatrox, yeah, you'd have to think that this last ban here for Cerberus will be the Aatrox. Be pretty crazy if not.
Yeah, if not, it's just a free first pick.
Ah.
Wow, okay.
Morgana. I mean, we've seen Nico first picks when Aatrox is open, but
Very
no,
true.
this time Team Flash does pick up that Aatrox. I think that's wise. With Irelia banned, I think Aatrox is a free insta-lock. I don't see why you ever wouldn't.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cerberus now is in the position to dictate the bot lane matchups. They could go for something like Xayah Lux immediately and lock in the strongest bot lane you can probably pick at this stage. Xayah's already hovered. I'd like to see her paired with Lux and not with the Rakan. I think Xayah Rakan is actually a bit of a trap on this patch because there are so many very strong laning supports coming in with Lux, Yuumi. Oh, they can go for Yuumi as well. Xayah Yuumi, I think, is very strong.
I agree, and I think with the you might say the Rakan because they did ban that Morgana. Morgana's pretty traditionally a pretty hard counter to Rakan, but it looks like Nautilus.
What? Okay,
That's an interesting thing. Picking Nautilus over sort of the two S tiers of Yuumi and Lux, and also the Lovers lane.
Yeah, that's a really weird choice.
It could be mid lane.
Could be, yeah.
Putting it out there, could be mid lane.
I think we haven't seen Nautilus mid too much. I think the only player who still goes for Nautilus in mid probably is Doinby over there in FPX, and he does whatever he wants, so he doesn't really count.
He doesn't need to obey the meta.
Oh, this Ezreal Yuumi coming in. Ezreal Yuumi, I think.
No? Ezreal Braum.
Okay, I think Team Flash and Cerberus are both not quite on 9.12 here, looking at their picks. What are those bot lanes?
What's Team Flash on, like 9.8?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What is Braum supposed to do here? Braum
I like Braum as a counter pick to certain champions, but is it worth it against just a Xayah and a Naught so far?
Braum Ezreal synergy is not great. It's really not a great lane. I think Braum is a good counter pick into Sivir. One of the undervalued counter picks into Sivir, I think. So if there's a Sivir, I absolutely can understand the Braum, but paired up with Ezreal and against the Xayah, that's already
interesting. I mean, I suppose he does block a lot of the Xayah ult impact for damage, but the Xayah ult, I mean, the damage is sort of just a bonus. You use it for the invulnerability. But Elise being picked up, I like that. I think Elise is a great jungler at the moment if you can play early game.
Yeah, we saw insane Elise performances in the first series yesterday. I think our own MVPs were Elise 2 times in a row. I'm not quite sure if we... No, the official broadcast had 2 times Elise as the MVP in the row. And yeah, especially Sawn there yesterday with insanely good turret dive executions. So Elise is a very potent jungler. No solo lane picked so far for Cerberus.
Absolutely. I like that they just banned out 2 junglers.
Very good move here.
Really pinching that pool. Flash taking out Jace. Again, as you said, there's been no solo laners picked. That's sort of what you have to target. Getting rid of a flex pick and a strong side laner, I think that's a smart ban.
They should ban out Nico as well. Yeah, I don't see any reason not. Okay, they leave open the Nico. Kind of expect Nico now to be picked up as the very flexible choice that wins almost every lane for Cerberus. Can still slot in either solo lane. Damage profile is still adjustable as well for them, so no reason to not pick Nico here, in my opinion.
Yeah, unless they're worried about tank stats, never mind. I think that was the correct pick there. Nico, still flexible between mid and top. You get your counter pick for your last pick still, which is great.
Yeah, and on Team Flash's side, I think they want to build something like a 2 item power spike team here. Maybe 1.5 items, so what would slot in good there? I'd like something like a Rek'Sai or even a Jarvan. Oh, that sets up the Yasuo Gragas, maybe?
Maybe. I'm not sure if Yasuo Gragas would fit. I think you're a bit AD heavy at that point. Even though Ezreal does deal quite a lot of magic damage.
That's true. They want to have a mage here.
AD heavy. But then again, if you are going for the 1.5, 2 item power spike, sometimes
I'd like
stacking
Zoe
damage
here.
high.
Okay, yeah, that's fine as
Syndra?
well. Yeah, Syndra is
Does
good as
similar
well.
thing. Yep. I don't mind that. The question is, can you play Nico into Syndra safely?
Well, that's a good question. I think
I don't know that matchup at all, but
AP
I
Syndra
imagine
should be fine in mid lane. I think she can just clear the waves very quickly. It's still risky
I
with the
also kind
jungle
of imagine
intervention.
that. I sort of kind of imagine post 6 it shifts quite heavily because Nico just dies, doesn't she?
Yeah,
In the mid lane
it's
against
not an easy
Syndra.
lane to play. I definitely agree with that. Nico should still kind of be able to get priority in mid lane through her insane wave clear. So if she can play from the backside and maybe avoid a few stuns from Syndra, I think she can control the lane. But she is never in kill. She can never kill the Syndra, while Syndra can very probably kill her. So it's a very risky matchup for the Nico there.
It's very true. I think I like that Optimus at the moment at least is taking cleanse against an Elise Nico mid lane jungle. I think you absolutely need a way to get out of a stun because if the cocoon hits into the Nico binding, you don't survive that ever.
Yeah, no cleanse on the other side. That's surprising to me, because you could definitely use a cleanse on Nico's side as well. Imagine the Gragas E flash followed up by another stun from Syndra. That's an absolutely sure kill for the side of Team Flash as well. So I'd like to see Yado on.
I think it might be the recognition that the recognition, sorry, that if the Gragas hits the E flash
Doesn't matter
into Syndra damage, you can cleanse it if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought about that as well, so I would actually prefer something like a barrier coming in for Yado
that's
here.
what I was thinking. I think he was running TP though.
Yeah, I don't
which
understand
is
the
great
TP, to be honest.
if he lives. I mean, you always want teleport if you can, right?
Yeah.
And he might just be confident enough in the lane. I'm not sure if mid lane, as much as we are talking about it, will actually be at the focal point. I think both teams will be kind of happy just letting that play out, letting Nico maybe roam, because she will have priority over the Syndra, I imagine.
Yeah, and the Syndra pick is not really important as the specific champ. They just wanted to pick a generic mid laner that is able to spike on 2 items and impact the map and have good lane control as well. So that's why I thought Zoe would slot in very well there, because Zoe is insanely strong on 1 or 2 items and wins almost every lane. So Syndra kind of fits in the same spot. So that was just a very generic mid lane choice there. You could go Orianna here as well. Orianna maybe a bit too slow in terms of item power spikes. So yeah, Syndra is a very good choice for Optimus here.
Yep. God, it was Nautilus mid. I was right.
I was just stumbling on that picture as well. I love how mini-map 2 Nautiluses are running around. That's always the best.
I get thrown by that when I'm watching games.
It's so hard to actually always keep in mind who's the Nico and who's the original Nautilus or the real Nautilus.
Yeah, it's interesting. Pretty standard stuff. Really, not much of a generous leash here from the bot lane for Gragas. But
just one little tap there from the queue. So, we leashed for you. Do your own stuff now.
Yeah. We hit it. That's all we need.
Yeah.
But Elise going for the power level 3.
Yeah.
Just going buff Gromp then to Raptors, I assume. Oh, but early hook here onto Slater. He's going to take a lot of damage. He doesn't have his E. CBL does a good job zoning them back, but that's a lot of your health bar, and that's your pot burn. And Naught's going to do that again every time.
That's actually a very interesting talking point for this match already, because this is a very new support for a new bot lane duo for Slater. He most of the time played with alongside Hin in the last season, and Slater hit 1000 MVP points, but in the end of the season he actually was kind of meh to me, especially in the playoff series. He still had very good stats, but he didn't really impact the game too much. So yeah, we have to see how he can adjust to the summer meta, picking up more of the Asian AD carry, I would say, not seen too
Early
much in
gank
the
attempt
West.
here on Yado. He does get knocked up. You're in some trouble here. That cleanse might have come in handy. Well, actually, not really. That's not true. But it is actually the counter gank here. Knight going in on Yijin, but he doesn't get him. A lot of damage going out. Oh my god, it's just a kill.
Nice.
Optimus in trouble though, as he's got to run away from this spider, and the Q does come in.
Almost. A lot of action already in the mid lane. Interesting start. Did you see Optimus actually missed his stun there on Yado? He kicked him back, so it looked like the stun actually landed, but it was just the delay there on the E. So it was only Yijin with the stun. He had to invest his flash as well, so now Yijin not with the greatest ganking setup anymore on the Gragas. You pretty much have one free gank, like you have with the Rek'Sai. One very easy CC will end with flash and E.
I mean, you do get your Predator power spike as well.
Yeah, that's very true.
Always nice. But you are right. The flash, yeah, see, I thought that hit, so I commented on cleanse and then immediately realized I was talking absolute lies. This was very nearly a turn here for Knight. I think he just didn't quite have his Q cooldown and quite wisely turned around.
Could have been
Yado
mana problem as well. He had almost no mana at all. Look at that.
That's true. I think Yado could have backed off and played that a lot safer. But in the end, it's a 1-for-1. That's
no,
not
Optimus.
too bad.
Oh god.
Oh, Optimus. Yeah.
He actually wasted his stance
burned
there.
His cleanse. Burned his cleanse. Don't know about that one. That was the old bot lane coming up, giving the left-right good night.
And Nautilus actually flashed for that.
Interesting decision. I mean, I don't know if he... I think you're happy trading your flash for a kill.
Absolutely. But
I don't know if you had to in that situation. I don't think he'll be too unhappy.
Yeah, I agree. I think he could... Ooh, cannon miss. Oh, you hate to see that.
Observers, spare the man.
Observers are ruthless in this region, aren't they? We always get to see...
I think this is pretty expected, though. Aatrox is going to bully Gangplank early, but Gangplank will be fine. And he's not going to be able to kill the Aatrox in lane, but that's fine.
Looking at the jungle and top 2v2, I don't like the Gangplank pick too much. I think you always want to pick something with dive or push pressure if you have the Elise set up. Elise, one of the easiest diving champions in the game, especially for top lane. And yeah, with this Gangplank, they will never get an opportunity to dive the Aatrox.
I feel like you can camp Syndra, though. She is quite a mobile. Ooh, Yado's in trouble. Hit by a long-range jump there from Optimus. Taking a lot of damage here. The electrocute goes off. He nearly dies.
This mid lane has been not enjoyable for either mid laner. They are under constant pressure here.
Yeah, but I think that's a result of sort of the comps, because you don't really want to be ganking an Ezreal lane.
Yeah, they can't really gank anything else. That's very true. Yeah.
Ganking the bot lane in general is just a bad idea for both teams. You can't really gank an Aatrox when you've got a Gangplank as your top laner. Ooh, that lands. He just... That's a lot of ults committed, but that's a dead Syndra.
Optimus doesn't feel great at this game. There's people coming from every angle. Oh man, he got ganked by Ron OP there from the bottom side. Now Knight comes from the top side, lands a very good cocoon there on the Elise, followed by YT's ultimate. Yeah, Optimus in a very bad
assist
spot.
alert coming in from Gangplank. He got a free assist.
Look at that cocoon, nicely done.
It was really good. The Nico ult to make sure nothing got away. And Optimus, this is a bit of a tilter.
And you can't really fault him that much for this game though, so far. He's sitting at 1 and 3, but to be honest, he can't really do anything against those ganks.
No, he really can't. And if you look at the control ward investment as well, like he can't ward his bottom side. There's 2 control wards that are being guarded. Like that's a pretty... It's a rough time.
There. Ooh, a gang setup now for Flash. But there's no
Ezreal. It might not matter. That's a really good barrel here. A lot of damage onto Easy Love. One more hit will get the stun.
Yujin doesn't have any mana.
The hook gets his flash. Easy Love walking away. CBL still trying to pressure it, but he doesn't get it in the end. Hey, you walked bot, you got a flash.
Not sure if I like
Do
this timing, I have to say. I think there was a kill possible. Oh, the kill is actually coming in, so
Ooh,
never mind my point,
Look at
never
that.
mind.
There was the
Nicely done.
Ezreal.
Yeah, yeah. Good snipe, good snipe by Slater. And this is actually very, very big swing in the bot lane. They will now be able to... Oh, no, he has TP, so it's not like he loses 2 or 3 waves there. So actually not as big of a swing as I anticipated it to be. Of course, he can TP back into the lane, but now Ezreal in a bit of a better position there compared to the Xayah. Ooh, it lands once again. The other...
That does land again. This is going to be a lot of damage. It's not going to quite be the kill. I'm not sure
this
what
could be a
actually
turnaround. Yeah.
This is the turn. Yep, this is a lot of damage. It's a Syndra.
That has to be tilting for Optimus. Oh man. He's so unfortunate this game.
Yeah, that's really rough.
I'm really
and he
sorry
saw
for
that the
him.
jungler was coming in again. So I assume this is the snipe that we didn't see previously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
in
just
slow
a
motion. Beautiful.
Bang. Easy peasy.
Yeah, not too aware there's Cerberus' bot lane, I think.
I'm not sure
could
if Easy
have
Love
read
could have
this.
dodged it even if he did. Because I don't think they could see Ezreal, and he got hit by the exact middle, so he
Yeah,
couldn't have...
it's true, but I think just overall, recalling behind your turret against an Ezreal that will probably hit 6 is a bit of a head scratcher. That's a bit, yeah, lazy, I would always say. It's a bit of a lazy recall there.
It's a bit irresponsible, but that is the Cloud Drake being picked up for CES, and it looks like it might be a dive being looked for. Diving Braum through this corridor? I don't know, man. He's got all...
Does he have heal available? Yeah, he does. Ooh, but he's already down to very low HP.
Oh, he got knocked up by the Nautilus mid-jump. That was really well played by Ron there.
Yeah. Good coordination once again, too.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Easy kill.
I think so far Cerberus looks like the better coordinated, better prepared team in terms of cohesion.
Yeah, so far everything they've done has been pretty clean.
Flash with very good laning though, very good laning statistics so far. Almost every lane is winning. Even mid lane is close after the disaster that struck Optimus before.
Yeah, I imagine Ezreal, if we were able to see the gold, would be ahead just because Klepto.
Yeah, yeah. And he has a kill as well.
Almost.
So.
And he also has a kill. That's a good point. I mean, I think part of the early dominance, or not dominance, but lead might just be because there is an Elise on one side who is probably the stronger early game jungler. So we're gonna have to see how FL does pulling this back into the mid game. But yeah, I think early on they're looking good. They're looking very coordinated.
Everyday, do you remember who went 4-0 yesterday on Elise or something like that?
Pardon?
The jungler that went absolutely legendary on Elise yesterday in the first series. Do you remember his name?
Sorn.
Yeah, and Sorn's previous team was Cerberus, so they replaced him with Knight, who's now looking at 4-0 on Elise as well. So far, a very good replacement found for Sorn, who had an incredible performance
yesterday. Are we sure
yesterday.
that it's not actually just Sorn?
Yeah, maybe he's playing for 2 teams.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is a really good jungle performance. I think you do run the risk of...
Ooh, another
it's too early to, observers, please. Save this man. Nothing's happening in top lane, you don't need to look. I think you do sort of run the risk that we did see in the second series yesterday, where all of your gold is sort of on one person, with the Elise with 4 kills. But I think it's too early for that to really be a disaster yet.
Do we really want to use that game as a reference point for serious games? I'm not quite sure.
I don't see what you mean. I don't think there was anything strange about that game. I think it was completely standard. Quinn is a meta pick.
Absolutely. So now looking at the transition to the mid game, it's 1k gold lead for Cerberus, equaling their statistics for Spring Split. Oh, as another gang comes in.
Yado, you're in some trouble here. Only 1 knockup hit there from Tora. He's still alive. Almost a good thing because it let Optimus get the kill. You'd think the Gragas barrel would have finished him, but not the best gank there by Taurus. Missed 2 knockups and then had to flash through the third one hit. But they got a kill in the end, so I think he's happy enough.
And this mid lane matchup has played out in a very weird way, because it always looked like Yado was ahead, but now looking at the kills, it's probably actually Optimus with the gold lead with 2 kills to his name. Even though he got camped and killed a lot of times in the early game, he's now very comfortably transitioning to mid game. Level 10 already has maxed out the Q, so a lot of damage coming out of the Syndra there. Once it's level 11, I think there will be solo kill potential on Yado, possibly. Yado has picked up some MR, so maybe not on Yado. But Knight, for example, could be caught there from Optimus's burst.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Nice
it's very
cleanse.
dangerous, but there's the Flash Cocoon cleanse straight away. That's the power of that summoner spell, it's why he picked it. That's a flash for a cleanse. Optimus is licking his lips at that trade.
Yeah, maybe some more laziness coming out for Cerberus there, I think. You should know that cleanse is up. Never trade flash for cleanse there. That's really not a worthwhile trade. As long as cleanse is up, you will never get the kill in that position, so why would you ever go for that? It's not really valuable to do that.
It was an interesting decision. He might have just thought maybe he could. I don't know.
No.
Maybe they didn't know the cleanses. I'm not sure. But they will
As I
get the
say, I
herald
think it's a bit
out of
lazy
it.
for them.
Yeah, but they get the herald out of it. It's overall, I think it's not bad for CES. I think they're pretty happy.
No. Looking at team fight setups right now, I think once Flash's ADC finishes the Trinity Force, they're actually in a very good position to team fight immediately, especially before Easy Love hits his second item. So I'm not too sure about Flash's approach to the rest of the game. They should up the pace a bit. In my opinion, they are playing this game out a bit slowly, considering their 2 item power spike team composition, which will be hit in a few minutes.
It's true, but I mean, last time we looked at the gold, Flash was 1,000 gold down.
Oh,
it's
no,
now,
they're even, yeah, that's right.
about 100 gold, which is obviously irrelevant. So they're catching up. This Drake, they are going for it. Yijin's on it, which I think is good. The Herald's gone, so I think one of the problems is that what do you fight over? Like, you're not getting a fight over Drake because it's not being contested.
And it's the legendary
Herald's gone.
triple Cloud Drake spawn at the beginning of the game.
Oh. I mean, you love it. Look how quick you can move. Everyone gets to be a fast boy.
I actually think Cloud Drake is
Obviously.
insanely undervalued, but as an early dragon, it's not great. In the late game, it's one of the strongest dragons, in my opinion. Maybe in competitive, it's behind the other 2 impactful dragons, but it's not bad. But in the early game, you really don't want to look at the Cloud Dragon.
I mean, I think Cloud Drake is sort of. It depends on team comps. Like, I think Ocean Drake falls massively in priority when you're not against a poke comp, to the point where actually it's worse than Cloud. I think all the dragons are pretty good nowadays. There was that period of time where Cloud Drake was pretty hilariously underpowered, but more recently, I think it's much better.
It's very team comp dependent as well. There are team comps who don't care about dragons at all. There are team comps who pretty much have to pray for a mountain drake to actually have win condition in the later stages of the game, because they need the Baron and can't do the Baron on their own. So these 2 team comps in terms of Baron approach, CES I think has a very good Baron turn. Their damage on Baron is mediocre. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. But their turn is especially good. They have the Nautilus, notoriously good turning champion, especially as the red side team, I think. The enemy team has to approach from the open area, so they can immediately go on everyone who wants to approach. They have the Gangplank, a lot of zoning coming down from that ultimate, so I like the Baron turn. They could play around Baron, dance around the Baron, and call a few bluffers there from Flash. On the other side, Flash's Baron taking is not great. They have Asriel. Asriel is not good at Baron. Syndra is not that great either as a mage. There are many very good mages for Baron. Things like Azir, Karthus, if you want to play him as a mage. but Syndra is not
I mean,
one of them.
I don't think Ezreal's terrible if he gets Trinity Force. Like, that's a lot of Shane procs. I think he's okay.
What do we think overall of the teams so far compared to yesterday's performances? Maybe it's a considerably slow game, I think.
Well, it was very fast early.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of
Optimus was
ganks,
having
yeah.
very bad time in mid. It was a real brawl in mid, which has slowed down massively. This mid game has been very uneventful so far. It's just been the teams sort of dancing around each other and trading objectives.
I think both teams are still not quite sure how they want to approach the later stages of the game. They probably have a game plan in mind, but they don't know where they want to look for the opportunities. No real big proactive team plays seen so far. Just a few individual outplays, especially coming out of Knight.
Junglers staring at each other. Knight going in. That's a lot of damage immediately. He's got the repel to gap close, but he doesn't want it. Doesn't know where the rest of the team was.
Knight is a level down compared to Yijin, but he murders him there.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage out of that Elise. Has that full jungle item and the Morellonomicon. Yeah, you don't want to fight that. TP used here and the mid tower. Not sure that was needed, but
so now we have a
Taurus,
side lane Syndra.
Yep.
Side
Just
lane
want to
Syndra
farm up, I guess.
Is notoriously horrible. But yeah, she'll probably just catch the wave and back off. But it's a bit of a... She's very overextended there on the map. We already see the members from CES
dead.
approaching. Yeah. There's no way she gets out of there. Optimus...
Interesting. Committing the TP, I'm not sure that was needed. Is Yano even going to get a hit? Nope. Didn't even get an assist.
And there was really no reason to do that. Optimus, why did you go that far up the lane? There is not really any kill pressure or turret pressure coming out from the Syndra, and you can wait for the wave to hit Yulwei a bit longer. So really, no. Okay, another interesting ultimate. Yeah, a Flash, I think, still looks a bit nervous, maybe uncoordinated, I'm not sure. Or now the Baron approach.
This is Baron, and you don't have... I mean, you lost your Syndra, which is the main reason they're confident enough to start Baron. But you also just wasted your Cracker Soul, and now they're backing off. I think these teams might be a little bit nervous. Yeah. It is their first game for the split. So
yeah, it's a bit too early for Cerberus to go for the Baron. They just checked how much damage they would take from Baron, and it was way too much. Baron there, a bit scary.
It does look like the third Cloud Drake is going to get picked up here. Overall, FL with more out of the play. Optimus, go get caught more. Your team seems to do well. Very interesting. I think that Baron sort of was a bit of a waste of time.
Yeah. It's a bit true. It was very optimistic from Cerberus there.
Yeah.
I think 5-6 minutes later they could have gotten the Baron, but at 20 minutes straight going for the Baron with only one member down on the other side and no real tank to soak up the Baron damage, not the greatest call you ever saw.
Absolutely. Did you see... Oh, it's Ocean Drake that's coming up next. Not going to be the full suite of clouds, but that's
it's 3 clouds already spread through the team, so... It's 3 clouds into Ocean Drake. It's not the greatest game if you want to play for dragons.
No, and the lack of a Mountain Drake is a pretty big deal.
Especially
as you were saying earlier, neither of these teams have particularly good Baron take. A Mountain Drake would make a huge difference.
Yeah, a Mountain Drake for Cerberus would elevate them to a really good Baron team. Right now they are an okay Baron team against a very bad Baron team on the side of Flash, but with a Mountain Drake they would really get to a very strong point in terms of Baron.
Yeah, absolutely. And YT looking a little bit confused here. Not sure if he wants to go stop the Aatrox or come help his team, and it looks like he might just do neither. As FL disengages, Predator was used from YouTube. I think I saw the indicator pop up. Yeah, they are. It is on cooldown. But yeah, they lose bot lane tower. They don't really get anything done in mid. Cerberus looks a little bit out of sorts.
I think both teams kind of do. Right
Yeah,
now,
I think.
flash in from
Oh,
Knight.
there's the flash over, but the Cocoon misses. CBL just disengaging. He doesn't have his ult, and Optimus does get bound up, but uses that cleanse, gets out. Taurus 1v1ing YT in the back. This is a split fight. YT, you're kind of on the wrong side of the tracks here, mate. And he gets cleaned up by that True Shot Barrage, and then the engage fully goes in here. Yijin frontlining, does a lot of damage
Slater.
there. And Slater is going huge here. Gets 2. Another one's cleared up. Easy Love, you've got to run, son. And he will get away. That had that Q landed, I think Slater would have kept going, but he doesn't. Optimus getting full efficiency out of his health bar.
I think the quality of the team fight was very indicative of the whole match. My God, what a shit show!
That was a very messy fight. That was interesting, to say the least. But it
Cerberus
was
looking
FL coming on top. Yeah,
completely
Optimus,
out
be
of sorts.
careful. That's Baron. If you get hit by anything,
Yeah, Optimus
you
dead.
die.
Optimus dead. No, oh,
Maybe
lucky
walk
for him.
away, buddy. He got hit by Baron
Yeah,
there
that was
too.
very, very close for Optimus. Not his greatest game, I have to say. Now Baron,
I think he's recovered from the early pressure quite well. Like, he was getting pumped in lane. And
yeah. But I think actually his laning phase was not the worst of his gameplay. He was not. He didn't have anything to say about the laning phase because everyone was just perma camping him there. A lot of weird mistakes coming out of the veteran there on the mid lane. I hope we get another replay on the team fight because it was a really strange setup there. Cerberus, I think, panicked a bit because they saw that YT was going down, was getting caught, and then they committed to kind of half save on YT, which did not succeed, and then they were in a very bad position as well. No need at all to fight there for Cerberus. They had a pretty bad setup and got overzealous, maybe. Still don't really understand what they were thinking in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about that fight is it was a very messy fight and sort of showed the quality of the game, but Slater played it really well.
Yeah, Slater had a very good performance there.
Gragas Barrel thrown, not the Xayah ult was used, but I'm not sure what the barrel was looking for. I don't think the knockup would have really gotten her into the team, but regardless, it is an ult trade.
And look at EasyLove's itemization. He actually opted into delaying his big 3 item power spike, which I do not like. I already do not like to see Infinity Edge delayed, as I talked about yesterday. I like to see second item Infinity Edge. Now it's not even really third item Infinity Edge, so this Xayah is not as strong as she could be.
Yeah, quite weak in fact. I'm sure the logic behind the Hex Drinker is Ezreal and Syndra. But you are Xayah. Like, if you stop using your ult a little bit willy-nilly, you can just ult the Syndra ult.
By the way, I love Slater's item build here. I think that's
I agree.
a bit of the Western
best.
Ezreal build. I see a lot of Koreans still go for the
Oh,
ult.
there is an engage though. Ron does get the hook there onto Optimus, uses the ult on the CBL, and Ron just dies. Okay.
No full commit from Cerberus there. They don't seem to be quite as coordinated as they were in the earlier stages of the game anymore. I thought they were the slightly better coordinated team compared to... Wow, Yijin, what are you doing?
Being bold, and his team gets a tower. Easy Love, interesting ult there.
And it's almost tilting to see what Cerberus is missing in the team fights. I think they had another great opportunity to turn the push around there, but everything was slightly off. Easy Love did not get access into the back lane.
Ooh, Mountain Drake. Oh, wait. That looked like the Mountain Drake sigil. Am I...
Yeah, they adjusted it. It's a Mountain Drake in 5 minutes. I'm not sure if we will actually get to see the Mountain Drake in the game.
I don't think so either, but it is nice to get a real Drake in here. Not going straight sets with just Ocean Cloud.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I'm not sure when did this happen?
Yeah,
I missed this entirely. Not sure what this is a replay of.
Oh, that
That was blue buff coming in clutch.
yeah, that was the reason
I
that
feel
Ronald P wanted to follow up, I guess, but then he got caught as well.
Yeah.
In the end, Cerberus, I think, overall, way too
actually-
defensive. The whole game has been played out pretty defensively from them. I'd like to see them going for more active plays. I don't think they will win this map if they just sit back and defend their base for the whole time.
I agree. Or if they do, like, you have to play for a ridiculously late game, like, you know, a 6-item Zaya.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have time for that. Yijin, a
Once
little
again
bit
gets
far
caught
forward,
out.
but I think he might be okay. Yeah, he just gets out, gets Knight stopwatch as well for his own.
You could kind of see the desperation in the play for Cerberus, I think. Always chasing for kills that were already they could already not reach anymore. So a bit of desperate play from Cerberus showing the later stages of the game here.
Yeah, they need to be punishing these really overzealous plays here from Flash. Like, Yijin was way too far forward there. But he gets away. Just not really a decisive move. It was Knight going forward quite hard, having to use his stopwatch because his team didn't back him up. Yado has to use that. Oh, well.
Yeah, once again, they're not successful in catching someone out. It looked like they could kill CBL there, but in the end, he gets to flash away. Another ultimate wasted, another play attempted and not successful. Cerberus, kind of showing the same tendencies they showed on Spring Split with a strong early game, but a bit clueless after the early game, I have to say. Big blunder with the teamfight there around the mid lane second tier turret.
Yeah.
Oh, IE is finally finished. So now Easy Love could carry this game. It's very hard for him. But
He's definitely, but it's compared to the Gunblade being finished on Ezreal.
yeah, this is a very strong Ezreal. 700 gold.
Higher item in the head. I think it's very difficult for Easy Love to carry, but Zaya is very strong at
What's
the
going
moment.
on?
There is a lot of pings, and there's a TP in here from Taurus in the backline, straight
A lot
onto
of
Easy
damage.
Love, gets the ult, but Easy Love's just dead.
What? Easy Love.
Or
That
basically
E was
dead.
way
He
too.
gets away.
Yeah,
Taurus.
but he's out of the fight, so now they are missing their best damage dealer. And oh,
Exactly.
oh
YT
no, YT.
going to die after the
My
stopwatch.
God, that was such a bad play. Oh man.
Yeah. And
This
on
will
the
be Baron
backside,
number
we didn't see
2,
it, but
it looks like.
Knight and Yado as well going down.
All these absolutely useless stopwatches. Oh my
What was
God.
that stopwatch for?
Yeah.
Like, dropped 600 gold?
Actually, for YT, the stopwatch actually killed him. He could have gotten out of there without using the stopwatch. The ult damage from Syndra was already there. YT, I'm sorry. Yeah, YT, it's the name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I was thinking about Yado that basically just stopwatched to delay Baron by 3 seconds.
yeah, maybe. But Yado was dead anyway. YT was really not dead at that point. He could have stopwatched the whole Syndra ult. Instead, he chose to wait until the Syndra ult almost killed him and then stopwatched so the enemy could catch up to him. Then he got out of the stopwatch and flashed away anyway. Nah,
Yeah.
that was a bit of
Excellent.
channeling his inner Neven there. Or Nevin.
But yeah, I'm just not sure. Like, Taurus just goes in so hard here.
And where's the
Easy Love
E?
gets away.
Easy left. Why are
Wait,
you not using your
no.
E?
No, I saw it. Braum shielded it.
Oh,
have feather.
nice. Okay.
There was a Braum shield. I was wondering where
Good
the E
call,
was
good
as
call.
well. That's huge.
Did not look at
That-
Braum there. Yeah, very good play for CBL.
That's massive, because I think if Taurus dies there to the E, the fight goes potentially very differently.
Beautiful pose.
But yeah, this stop.
We have to comment on Yado with a very nice timing on the Zonyas.
True.
Now
If it was a
10k
fashion
gold
show.
lead for Flash, and Flash are looking like the sure winners of this first game. Really, it looked a bit iffy, especially in the early and mid game stages, but they are pretty much profiting
and
from
here
the
it
enemy
goes.
team's
Taurus
mistakes.
flying in there on that Aatrox, taking a lot of damage though. A little bit overzealous there. Goes into the GA.
Aatrox has
Won't go
not
down
looked
afterwards.
strong in this game.
No.
Aatrox has been absolutely
Oh,
useless.
Rod, mate. Oh, unlucky. Hit the ruins of the tower. Spider Naut straight to the int.
I really hope
No.
Ron goes for a better laner next game. I think there was such a good opportunity to pick the stronger bot lane with. What is
Whoa,
going
whoa,
on?
whoa. Whoa.
Something seems to be very off in the spectator client. We had insane effects yesterday as well, and now this is happening there. Big diamond showing up. Not sure what that was.
Raw really showing off that skin. Yeah, we've had some interesting animations.
League of Bugs, indeed.
League of Bugs, very appropriate. Way to call it. Completely off topic, as Yijin presumably is going to kill YT here.
Yijin's
Or at
Gragas has been such a weird champ so far. Like, he has not done anything useful in this game.
At all.
He's just
speaking of
throwing a lot of casks without ever doing anything with the casks. They're just thrown, and enemy team is like, okay, you can do that, but
Knight
Taurus
goes up in the air and he's just going to come straight back down. Oh my god! He just stopped. That was just an Aatrox Q and the Ezreal ult hitting at the same time. That spider got squished. 3 inhibs down. Jungler down. This is going to be game, I think.
Yeah, I think there's nothing they can do. Taurus doesn't have ult or GA available, so if they can kill the Aatrox, maybe? No, there's nothing they can do.
But...
Oh, Yijin did something this game. Nice.
Went in. Yado's dead. Taurus gets that kill, and this is just one kill back onto Yijin, but Ron goes down. The Nexus is exposed.
Oh, look at the Ezreal damage.
All this is really doing.
My god.
It's pretty ridiculous.
So, 35 minutes, pretty slow game. I think as slow as our first game yesterday. And Flash comes out ahead. Not too convincing, in my opinion. Cerberus really looking bad in the later stages of the game. Mid and late game for Cerberus looked absolutely horrible. No coordination whatsoever.
Yeah, it wasn't great from Cerberus there. Hopefully they come out a little bit more coordinated in game 2.
Yeah, maybe it's just a bit of stage jitters. Coming back to stage after such a long time. Can be disturbing. So I hope we get to see Cerberus in a bit of a better spot there for the next game. I think the early game was very good. They looked more coordinated. I have no idea what they thought would happen in the team fight there for when they tried to save YT.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
By the way, this was an Aatrox that won the game and had his first ultimate reset at 34 minutes, if I saw it correctly.
Wow.
That's how useless he was in this game. I think both top laners with very little impact. Junglers, it's only 7 minutes until the next game. That's a very short pause.
Wow. That is very short. Oh, on the screen though, can't wait for next pack. Mordekaiser, let's bring him in.
Oh yeah. I think it's not even next patch. It might even be next week already. He's still globally banned, but he is in the reworked spot already on 9.12, just disabled. I'm not sure if he will be disabled for LEC today. Might be the first league he's eligible to play in.
I mean, I think if he's not, he'll be perma-banned.
Yeah, probably.
Moment.
I could imagine G2 actually letting it through and then seeing if they can beat it, but
yeah, maybe. I'll pick Pike into it.
Probably.
Doesn't matter what position.
What was who was your ADC? I say ADC.
Slayer.
I already gave my pick away there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
it's Slayer. I think it's very obvious. He played a very immaculate Ezreal game there. Very good snipe on the first kill down in the bottom lane. Perfect execution in team fights. Didn't die a single time. So coming back as one of the big prodigies of the VCS region. Will he become the best player in the whole region? I don't know. Maybe. The first game looked very good.
He did. It's a big call, but who knows? We could still get there. He certainly looked good on that Ezreal. It was really crisp, a lot of damage being dealt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, interesting that Ezreal was picked there when Sivir was available.
The whole pick and ban phase was very unique to me. No Yumi, no Lux in the bottom lanes. Sivir going through the pick and ban phase. Sejuani was banned, right? But there
Yeah, Sand was banned.
no Olaf hover or anything.
Olaf was banned as well.
Olaf was banned as well. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
They pitched the jungle pool to force. I mean,
Yeah.
but again, if you're pitching the jungle pool, you left Gragas open.
I still think the Gragas was not that great, to be honest. I think
I
Rek'Sai would
agree,
have been better in the spot.
Okay.
She can bring the same thing in terms of early game aggression and early game ganking setups, but if you don't pair Gragas with something that is has a very good synergy with him, I don't really see the reason to pick Gragas over a Rek'Sai there. So yeah, not sure about that call.
Yeah. I agree. Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Gragas was specifically enabling.
So I think we'll be back in 4 minutes for the next game. See you guys soon. Okay, we are back with game 2 after not the greatest game in the first one. I hope we get to see a bit of a better performance out of both teams here. Not too satisfied with the first game.
Game 1 looked a little bit solo queue, sort of making it up as they went along. I hope both teams can kind of have a game plan and at least try and execute it. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think the team comps actually were not as bad as some team comps were yesterday, but the execution on the team comps was lacking, especially on Cerberus' part.
Yeah,
Some weird item choices on top of that. Yeah, their jungler looked great. That's a good takeaway for the first game. They have a new jungler, and he had to fill in Zorn's shoes, and he looked very good in the early game. There's still the same problem with Cerberus, it looks like. Their mid and late game just is not great.
Yeah, they looked very good in the early game, and then it sort of seemed like the wheels came off the wagon.
Yeah.
And they just didn't know where they were going.
Yeah, I had the hope that Ron OP would actually change that. So Ron OP came over from EVOS, and he's a long-standing member in the Vietnamese scene, and I thought maybe Ron OP could give them more direction in the mid and late game, but it really did not work out for them that game.
I mean, Ron didn't have a particularly good game.
No, really, he did not.
Definitely doesn't help in terms of your.
And I didn't like his champion's choice. I want to reiterate that I really don't like the Nautilus pick up there. They had the opportunity to go for something ridiculous like Xayah Yuumi or Xayah Lux, and they went with Nautilus. And yeah, why?
I'm not sure why Nautilus was so high priority to them. I don't think Nautilus is a bad champion.
No, definitely not.
You used your third pick or something.
Yeah, really banning Kai'Sa again?
I mean, Slater had a great game in game 1.
Indeed.
So I can kind of understand. If you were scared of his Kai'Sa then, you're even more scared now.
Are you?
But Aatrox gets banned out this time. Well, you're scared of him.
Yeah.
That's his best champion.
That might be true, but he still murdered you with another pick, so is it really worth it to take away his first pick if he murders you with Ezreal anyway?
I mean, I suppose that is true, but it looks like they're just going to choke out his champion pool, but I think ADCs are really hard. I don't think that's where you target ban these days.
Oh, I don't like this ban approach from Flash.
Banning Irelia and Aatrox is very interesting.
Yeah.
Surely you force, surely they should have banned Irelia, or neither of them. Just played the matchup.
Yeah, neither is a very good option here, because then Cerberus... 3 bot lane bans once again. What will be the first pick? Is Sejuani still up? They might look at the Sejuani first pick here.
God, surely you have to ban it here.
Yuumi is... Nico is available as well. Nico had insanely high priority yesterday. I'm not sure if these two teams like Nico this much.
I mean, Nico didn't look very good in game 1.
Oh, Sejuani's open.
Gotta be first pick Sejuani, right?
I think so. If they give up... Whoa, Karma is up as well, so now...
Karma.
Karma is great against Sejuani. Yeah, Karma is the better pick. I did not think of Karma. They can go something like Sejuani and Sivir here. That would be a good option. Best picks in 2 positions.
I agree. I think if you don't pick Sivir here, it gets picked by Cerberus.
Yeah,
almost every time.
You never want to play against Sivir Karma. Holy, that's
but
scary.
Also, if you're gonna, you see the target bans for ADC, you need to lock in.
Yeah.
But Kai'Sa and Xayah got banned out, but Sivir, I mean, there's a very strong argument to say Sivir is better than Xayah. They're ridiculously close.
I think in pro play it's Xayah over Sivir, but both are very good.
I think it's close.
Oh, it's the Renekton takeaway over for to ban it from YT. They banned it last game. This time they take it away.
I don't like that.
No, I don't like it either. I think Team Flash will give up Sivir. Yeah, and you don't want to play Renekton into Karma. You really don't want to play Renekton into Karma.
Really don't want to play Renekton into Tank Karma.
That being said, YT has not played the Mage Champ in the last split, so I'm not sure if he can play Karma. My god, this tick and ban phase has let me down so much. I think
What is
both teams
going
are
on?
actually trolling in tick and ban.
What is the priority? I don't understand. Lux is open.
Yeah, and Sivir is still open as well. You have the opportunity to pick Sivir, Karma, and just run down the enemy team. You will. Oh my god, this is
Ooh, Lee Sin.
something
That's a
else.
flex. Look, I like a good flex, like not as in flexible, as in
Yeah.
flexing the muscles. But maybe not after you lose game one. Maybe you do
Oh
that.
no, T-Flash, please. You're not seriously going Asriel with this front line. Are you kidding me?
Sivir's open.
My god, this is a dream Sivir comp. She has 2 tanks in front of her, and they'll go Asriel. I'm at a loss of words. I think both teams have a really bad meta read here.
This is I don't know how to analyze this
Yeah.
champ select. I think the only pick that made sense was Karma and Sejuani.
Yeah. I think
So
the
the other four
Renekton is okay. If you're really scared of
And then they
YT's
banned-
Renekton. Yeah, now they banned Sivir, obviously. Why would they leave the Sivir open?
Why didn't you pick it?
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
Ban end.
So, this will be Karma mid lane, I would say. I don't expect YT to play the Karma top. So they have Karma mid, Nautilus bot, Lee Sin jungle. I think it's already... I don't like the Lee Sin. The other 2 picks are okay for team fighting, I guess.
Look at the AD champion pool. It's so pinched.
I actually would like to see Easy Love on Caitlyn this game. He has played 4 games of Caitlyn in the last split, where no one around the world ever played Caitlyn. Now she's actually playable. She's not great.
So,
I don't think
so
she's
hear
good.
me out. Hear me out for Cerberus's AD pick.
Oh no.
Draven.
I mean, I love to see Draven. Give me Draven every game.
with this comp though, like with this comp, legit.
Yeah, Draven Karma is a strong combination. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
bot lane will be strong as well. I think it could be a bit late to pick Draven. You pretty much have to wait for the support pick. Because that was my thought.
Yep.
You can't go Draven into Draven Nautilus into Asriel Lux. You will
Yeah,
not get anything done.
My dreams did that. But I think that's how did Lux get to this late in the draft?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't pick it last game at all. It's an improvement.
It's true. At least it's
still
gonna
don't-
be Lux mid. It could
That would be
actually,
interesting.
could be.
Lux mid and the Yumi support. I would love that adaptation. That would be really cool. I still don't understand why you would prioritize Lux over Yumi if you have already picked Asriel. Yumi is insanely strong in the lane.
Yeah. Lucian picked up though for Cerberus. I don't mind that. I think that's a pretty strong early game ADC.
Yep.
Can definitely be enabled by the Karma. If it's Karma support.
Oh.
No, Nautilus. Sorry, what am I talking about? Nautilus.
Not a support. Yeah, but still enabled by the Karma in the rest of the game. And it's actually a mage pick for YT, but it's not Karma. It's another mage.
I mean, Rumble's he's a mage, but
Mage bruiser thingy.
It is
something.
Rumble.
Yeah.
plays in the melee.
It's you can't really class him to anything. It's just a rumble. It's his own class.
Oh, whoa. Tom Kench. That's a Lux mid.
Yeah, nice. Good
Yeah.
call. Good call there. It's actually Luxmid.
Yeah, I totally expected that.
I don't like the support pick anyway, but it's still a Lux pick, Luxmid. Now we have the defensive Korean bot lane, Asriel and Tam Kench, that actually lost Korea a lot of games internationally because they are just way too defensive here. I really don't like Asriel Tam Kench. I think if you want to pick Tam Kench, go with a hyper carry. At least you get to scale them. What is the purpose of Asriel Tam Kench?
I'm not sure. I think there was just an issue with trades there in Champions Select. So we might have a little bit of a delay, but it should be. I don't know about this team. I actually really like the Rumble coming out. I think Rumble's great, and he doesn't see enough play.
I think he will get dived all the time in the top lane.
I was about to say, I think he's about to get bopped by a Renekton.
Yeah. I think the matchup in 1v1 is actually okay. I think Rumble is one of those champs that's able to handshake almost every trade against melee champions. So
Yep.
his 1v1 will probably be fine. He will be down 20 CS or something at 10 minutes, I would probably guess. Because it's still a very strong champion on the other side, but they can set up dives very easily on the Rumble. Rumble without any stun or... Okay, he has a shield, but the shield is not great in the early game. So Sejuani and Renekton. Renekton is already one of the best diving champions in the game. If you pair that up with Sejuani, you can tank 2-3 tower shots. Oh, that's a scary combination over there.
A bad time.
And
Very.
the how do you call this? The Renekton W if it's enhanced.
Yeah, I don't remember what the ability's called, but
Whatever.
the stun.
It's actually
He slices 3 times.
a triple auto hit, so you get 3 stacks of Sejuani instantly.
Yep. And if you're running press the attack, you also get a massive
Yep.
burst of damage.
Yeah, that's...
It's really strong.
If YT gets out of this laning phase only two kills down, I think we have to command him. This is a hard lane to play for him. This is not the greatest top lane pickup. Very much picked for composition, not for lane. I mean, that's always the case for Rumble, to be honest, but this is an especially hard case for him, where he has his work cut out for him in this game.
He absolutely does. This champion select, it's just...
Yeah, it boggles
So
my
many
mind.
things happen.
I
So
really
strange.
don't understand what is going on with those two teams.
I don't understand the such low priority on Sivir.
And we finally get to see Lux, and it's going mid. What is going on?
I don't think Lux Mid is a bad pick,
Uh,
but I think Lux Mid is better.
yeah, Lux support is much better. Lux
If
mid
they
is
had
okay.
if they had also picked like Yumi to have Ezreal Yumi, and
I'd like
Lux
to see
Mid,
that. Yeah, as I said.
I'm on board with that. I'm totally on board with that. As you pointed it out, but
Yeah, it's such a weird draft adaptation to secure the stronger bot lane matchup and then actually concede the bot lane matchup to slot your Lux into the mid lane where she's probably not going to win the lane against the Karma. I would guess that she's going even or something like that against Karma, maybe even losing the lane. While you had one very strong lane already secured. So what's the purpose of that trade? It's really not... I can't get behind that.
no, I think actually Lux will probably lose the lane
Yeah.
quite hard to Karma because she can't clear fast enough.
I think so too.
Her early E before she gets an AP doesn't clear the casts.
Yeah, and Karma
And
is...
Karma Cube does.
Karma murders minions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think there's too much kill pressure in the mid lane either way. Like, I think that's just going to be a farm fest. But I think it's a farm fest that Lux comes out on without priority.
Yeah.
And a roaming Karma is pretty scary.
And
That
Karma
W is point C.
could enable her Lee Sin to actually invade the Sejuani quite a bit there. If the Karma can get the priority lane and Lee Sin can play off of that. Very good look for the side of servers. Oh, we actually get back to champion select there. Did something change?
Yep. Nothing
No,
changed.
I
I think
don't
there
think
was
so.
just a bug in the
Teleport for Lux, a teleport for Karma as well.
I think that's standard. I think both of them know they won't be fighting, and the utility of the TPs are much better.
Once again, I kind of don't like the TP on Optimus' side. I think a barrier would be better on the Lux. I think Lux doesn't
Maybe.
really struggle to get back to lane, especially because she can clear out the minions with her ultimate as well to get better reset timings. And against Lee Sin Karma, you can for sure die in the early game, especially at level 6. That's a lot of damage coming in. So I'd like to see a barrier there, I think, but we'll have to see if the teleport actually pays off.
Yeah, one thing I did notice is for the side of Flash, oh, no, sorry, for Cerberus, no heal in the bot lane. Lucian is running the TP and Nautilus is running Ignite.
Oh, that's a very
That's
aggressive approach. Yeah.
really bold. I like being able to take TP on AD carries. I think it's really strong, but
Yeah,
not
especially on
having a
Ezreal. I
heal.
think Ezreal is always going TP. But,
Yeah,
I'd like
yeah.
to. Oh, Yado with 13 solo kills. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think for Lucian, Lucian Nautilus line, do you need the TP? Surely you have lane control and you can get your resets at better timing.
I think in that case, I like the TP a bit more because you know that Ezreal is going TP no matter what. And if you don't go TP, you're actually saying we need to kill the Ezreal to make up for the summoner spell disadvantage, or at least get a few platings out of the summoner spell advantage. So I think it's the safer call to go for TP on Lucian. I'd like to see people go for aggressive summoners and actually punish the TP pick for Slater, but yeah, it's okay to go TP as well.
Invade. This is an invade right here. Taurus has no idea.
Yijin will spot them, yeah.
Oh, the Q hits. Come on, press it. Do it. They would just back off. They get a ward down. No real, nothing gained, nothing lost there for Cerberus.
And Flash has not used the time they were offered there to get a counter ward in the enemy jungle, so a little bit of an early vision lead and information lead, especially for Cerberus. They will spot out Yijin. Yijin with the soul. Oh no, Taurus is actually clearing this one.
I think there was just a little bit of fear. I think the bot lane for Flash just moved up to cover in case the invade was actually committed to. Wow, they're getting a lot of information about Yijin's jungle path here. There's a ward on the Gromp, which will get the perfect timing on that.
Very good scouting so far.
Flash has no idea where Knight is starting or where he's going. I'm sure they can make a pretty good guess.
Yeah, I did not pay attention to the bot lane, so I didn't see if they fake leashed or actually leashed the Lee Sin. I don't think Lee Sin needs a leash, so if they just went to the lane and no one leashed, there's no information for Flash really. And a bit of an opportunity for Knight to go for an invade on the bottom side. They know that Heejin is still clearing his Crux, pretty far away from his own blue buff, so if Knight is fast there, might be able to steal away the blue buff. The timing doesn't work out, I think. He's still going for it.
I think he does. No,
Heejin is spotted once again. So yeah, this is a blue buff steal. This is a very easy blue buff steal.
It's a 3 buff. And I don't think Sejuani can go into Knight's jungle here. I don't think Yijin has any information.
Yeah, I think that this was a big mistake by Yijin there. Why did he go for Raptors? There was no need to go for Raptors. You know that you got spotted on the ward. Wow, yeah, I think Yijin messed up his pathing there a bit. And good capitalization from Knight, looking very good in the early game once again. Reading the enemy path. It's not only on Knight though, the very, very good setup from the whole team. Good spotting on the top side there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a team play, and I think this is really snowballing into a little bit of a jungle advantage here, because this is going to be the scuttle. Knight is going to have priority over both scuttles.
Yeah, and Heejin is on the wrong side of the map. All of his camps have been cleared out, while Lee Sin still has his available on the other side of the map. So now he can go to the next scuttle, deny another creep. Oh!
Optimus might die here. No, just too many tower shots.
Oh, Unofficial is here. What? How did that hit?
Whoa! Ron, he really is OP.
My god, how did that hit? How?
Also, top lane, Rumble's 11 CS ahead.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that has happened. Very good early game for Cerberus once again, looking strong with the early game plans. I'm still not sure how Ron OP hit that Q. I think there was a wall ahead of him, but somehow the model from Optimus was still overlapping with the wall.
He curved the anchor. He put a little spin on it.
He really did. And I think, once again, I'd like to reiterate my point. I think Lux would have lived with a barrier there.
Yeah, absolutely. She would have.
What?
What? Redacted solo. What? Unforgivable.
Oh,
Hello.
Taurus. Oh no.
What?
If Whitey knows one champ, it's Renekton. So he knows exactly when he's able to trade into the Renekton, his main champion for Spring Split. Solo kill for Cerberus. 2-0 up. 1k gold lead already.
I want to see a replay of that top lane.
Yeah, please give us the whole fight
pretty
there.
hard there. It's okay. That's unforgivable though. Like YT, expertise or no, can't get solo kills as Renekton.
For some reasons... oh, no, there is the replay. Okay, let's look at this again. Taurus turns around.
Ooh, Taurus.
Interesting how that played out there. Yeah. He was almost able to turn around the fight. Good proc on
like
the PTA. And no flash used for him.
I feel like it's pretty consistently a mistake to engage on a rumble that's got nearly a full heat bar.
Yeah.
You're just going to get pounded by the
But now they can capitalize on YT's flash expanse, so this is a very easy gank setup. This is...
Yeah,
he's just gone.
silenced as well. You're gone.
Oh, what? Wait.
Drops the equalizer.
What are you doing? Yado. Oh, Easy Love regrets his choices.
Easy Love?
Was Easy Love TPing there? That's such a weird choice.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know about that one, Easy
I mean,
Love.
even if he makes it in time, they are still losing the 2v2 with a level 4 Lucian. What is level 4 Lucian supposed to do? That was not the greatest call.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and I feel like that's sort of wasting such a lead that was being built.
Yeah.
Because he's lost so much in... I mean, he hasn't actually lost a huge amount in bot lane, just because they did have... I think they had priority before he TP'd, but...
And the solo kill in the end for YT could actually bite him in the back excessively in this game. Of course, his flash is still down for 2.5 minutes, roughly 3 minutes. And Optimus doesn't deal any damage there. So there's still an opportunity to return to top lane for Flash and get another free kill on the Rumble. Rumble can't do anything against his death there if the two champions are on top of him, and he has to push all the time. He has no wave control.
Yeah.
Ron is wandering around a lot in this game. Wondering. What? Both bot lanes have been very quiet so far. Easy Love with the weird TP to the top side. But other than that, even CS.
Yep. Good trade there out of Taurus. A little bit better. But still, I feel like Renekton behind it all isn't great.
And I feel like after the early game, Sejuani has actually recovered in the jungle quite well. She's still behind in CS. But she has gotten a kill and she's even in levels, so good adaptation from Yijin after losing his blue buff early on. Knight has not been able to find anything on the Lee Sin so far.
No, he's spotted out here, so they know exactly where he is. But it looks like they will be going for the invade on the second blue buff, which I like. You want to compound on the lead you've got.
Yeah.
They obviously had a perfect timer. Oh,
okay.
And we missed another solo kill.
What is actually going on in VCS top lanes? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Those lanes are really volatile, it seems.
Yep. Hopefully we get a replay on that. Not sure what happened. Presumably Renekton did croc things. Disappointed that he's not using the Australian Renekton skin.
The Australian Renekton
Appreciate
skin?
it.
What is the Australian Renekton skin?
Outback Renekton.
Okay.
Where he's dressed up as Crocodile Dundee.
So it's another first spawn Cloud Drake.
Yep.
That's not great for Cerberus. They have bottom lane control. And this time Flash actually has the vision on the enemy jungler. Look at this again. So we get to see Yijin farm while Taurus gets the work done. Wow, that Q damage.
Jeez, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, and the top lane is pretty over. This is, as I said before, it's actually pretty unfortunate how this worked out, because the solo kill from YT was impressive, but in the end, the flash that he expended for the solo kill to get out of there was not worth the cost. It looked good when he did the play, but then he got punished extensively from the enemy team, and now he's sitting at the turret with only 2 plates remaining. Can't ever approach the lane if the enemy jungler is there to kill him.
Yeah, I feel
Not
like
looking
Knight
too great
needed
for
to
him.
put a little bit. I feel like Knight needed to put a little bit more time into protecting YT. Like, he can't really gank a Renekton. That's a very dangerous proposition.
Yeah, especially because
he
the
could have been
Legion is
hovering
there.
around to counter gank, which I think would have really helped YT out. Because as you said, he's in a bit of strife now. He's sort of just got to sit under that tower like a bit of a wet noodle.
Yeah,
but they should get Herald here.
right now it's not possible to go there in 2v2 anymore. If Knight and YT get caught by Yijin and Taurus, they will both die. It's not a great situation over there. Yijin much stronger than Knight right now, even though Knight is sitting on 20 CS lead. Yado gets caught.
Ooh, Yado gets hit by that, and that's so much CC. The Lux ult should be up, should be able to be used here. No, it's not up. It must have been used to clear a wave, but it's not going to matter because Yado goes down. A lot of CC there. Sejuani picks up the kill. They would have rathered it on the Lux, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Sejuani scales very good with money as well. Much better than some carry junglers like Lee Sin, because she's actually a good late game and teamfighting champ. So getting your jungler as the sole tank of the team, more gold, is not the worst.
It's very true. The question really becomes here is how are we going to see the mid game shape up? Because I think Flash, after a bit of a rough early game, really recovered well.
Yeah, I think it's already looking very dire for Cerberus in the second game as well. They had a very good early game, as you touched on upon just now, but yeah, they've fallen behind in gold already. All their lanes are... Now, okay, the mid lane is not losing, but all the other lanes are losing. They don't scale too well into the later stages of the game. Lee Sin, Lucian, Nautilus, all not the greatest. Oh yeah, that's right. Bot lane is even, but the bot lane is playing against Ezreal, so that's not great. We saw Slayer pop off in the first game on Ezreal, so not sure if going even with Ezreal is enough.
I still question targeting Slater in the bans.
Yeah. I still question almost everything we saw in the Champion Select here, I have to say.
Doesn't make sense.
I really hope we get a better meta read in the second season.
Yeah, I mean, the second series should be really hype. And, this is going to be the dive here. Equalizer is down, but it's not going to matter. YTs just get burned alive.
Hey, Easy Love is there once again. Nicely done, Easy Love.
Easy Love really watched... Whoa, Knight, that was so bold. He just channeled Herald... Oh, I know.
Oh, no,
must have...
Oh, no.
Oh, good God.
The
this
game
is
just
horrible.
Ended. This is unsalvageable. The game just ended. I think Cerberus wasted... Oh,
what
no.
Happened there? What happened there is he tried to Warthog.
Yeah, I know.
Pressed his trinket, but he had the Herald. Summoned the Herald in Sejuani's face. Somehow didn't get interrupted.
That's the best part about it. The Herald actually did not get interrupted.
Yeah, but then the duo came from mid, just walked into the back of 4 non-committed players. It's not like Flash had committed to diving. They were just standing in the jungle.
Yeah, let's look at this messy fight once again. Flash, stun,
This is really well done. Yeah, this is really well done from Taurus and Yijin here, but then the TP late.
No. Great stuff.
He's praising...
And now Yado and Rono P with the high impact plays. Look at Rono P, level 6, approaching level 10 Renekton, immediately dead.
Just dies literally without swinging his anchor once.
Rono P, bro, I think you need to play another champ, because this one is not a great look for you.
Yeah, Yumi was open. You don't have to worry about your positioning.
It pains me to talk about that. The bot lanes seem to have no clue about the meta on 9.12, I have to say, in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Yumi's fallen in priority, but Lucian Yumi's a really
She's
good
still
lane.
sitting at 70%, or 74, I think, even on this patch globally.
Which is a fall for her. She was at 100.
Yeah, we have not seen a single Yumi in VCS. I think she was banned in both games yesterday, if in the second series.
No, I think wasn't there one Yumi?
I don't think this was
Final
played.
chapter.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I think there were Yumi bans in the second series.
Dive coming in here though. This should be slated dead,
Yeah,
even though he
both.
goes into early. It's not going to matter. CBL will die as well.
Oh,
Good
Ronald,
tower aggro. Oh no! Ooh. I was about to compliment their
flash.
tower aggro.
Good flash.
Oh, CBL. Sure. There's no reinforcements.
No.
If he'd had any reinforcements, he got away there.
To be
But
fair, the
no,
flash
coming,
looked good,
'cause
but it was not good. I have to correct myself there. It was not a good flash. He should not flash away there.
But that's 2 kills and an outer turret traded for an inner.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think even the
debatable.
first turret going down as well, right? I think both turrets went down in the bot lane in the this passage of play.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are still working on the bot lane outer turret there. So 2 turrets while the dive and the top lane happened, really not worth it.
Yeah, I mean it was
Especially-
a decently executed dive, but just too many resources.
Yeah,
committed.
they got 2 kills onto their karma, which is not bad, I guess. It's okay, but it will not help you win this game.
No, I mean I think they need some divine intervention to
Yeah.
win this game.
Look at the top side from Flash. Sitting at a 4-1 Renekton and a 202 Sejuani, insanely strong. This 2v2 can probably 2v3 right now. Oh no, what did we miss?
Ooh, we
My
just missed Yado.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof. And that's the strongest member on Cerberus' side, by the way. Casually getting absolutely murdered by Taurus there.
Yep. I mean, one thing that Cerberus can play for is Renekton is going to fall off.
That's very true.
There is
We have to see what
potential
Lucian actually
later on.
goes for in terms of items. If Lucian goes for full crit, they have a chance in the late game. Because he will deal more single target DPS than Slater, for sure. If this is once again an ignorant Lucian who's just going with the recommended build, and he is, then this game is really hard to win for them. Because, yeah, the Lucian DPS from the standard Lucian build is not high enough to carry his team. He has top laner who is fallen behind, who will just contribute with a bit of damage and AoE control. Has not even hit level 11. Karma will not deal the teamfight damage, so he really needs to be the main damage source. Ooh, 2 more kills coming on for
This
Cerberus.
is them getting caught though. CBL is in a lot of trouble, but Yujin does walk away. CBL doing team thing there and just
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Oh,
he had
good
to die.
flash, good
That's
flash
okay.
by Optimus.
Ooh, flash for flash.
And we see a bit of the obnoxious Lux wave clear in the mid lane there. And no opportunity for Cerberus to go for the turret in the mid lane, which is another very big factor here. They can't control the map as long as the enemy outer mid lane turret stands, and this will be very hard to clear. It's we talked about this yesterday, I think, with Azir being present, able to defend his turret forever. Look, Lux is just the same; she can defend.
YT's gonna die.
Why is he
Oh,
still level 10? How is he still level 10?
He can't go into the lane.
Taurus
Taurus
is level
just hunting.
13. I didn't think we would see another 3-level lead in the top lane after yesterday's game.
I don't mention that.
I like
Don't
to
mention
reference the best game so far in the VCS season.
It was definitely.
By the
most
way, guys,
entertaining.
if you missed the second game between Buffaloes and QTV, go watch it.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's not a good game of League of Legends, but it's very fun.
Very fun.
If you've had a bad day in solo queue or just generally, go watch pro players feed their asses off in that game.
Exactly. Go remind yourself that even if you are just in silver, you could go pro and play like that.
just the only requirement is probably to pick Ignite top lane Quinn.
I still can't believe that happened. Oh my god. But yeah, we are in a little bit of a lull here because Flash is just waiting for this Infernal to spawn.
Yeah, and
No real
Team Flash really has no hurry in closing out this game. They are outscaling in terms of team compositions quite heavily, especially with Easylove's items, as I mentioned before. So, yeah, they don't need to force anything. They will still probably win the fight right now, save for a very good ult from YT. So this is an opportunity for Cerberus to come back into the game. Ronopi already down.
Ron's gone. Knight's gone as well. Oh, but they did steal the Infernal Drake there.
Yes, YT carrying his team here. They're stealing away the Infernal Drake with the long-range equalizer. Still losing to... Oh, God.
Oh no. YT, you overstayed.
Nice,
mate.
nice Sonya's there. Ooh!
Was it a nice
Ooh, did you see that? That was slick.
Flash was cheeky. The Flash was cheeky.
Jichen predicted the Flash with the Q. That was really nice.
Yep. But this will just be Baron on spawn.
Yeah, they have two tanks that can tank the Baron forever, and Lux to reinforce it. Oh, Lux with the ult on Baron, because she hates this worm so much. The Baron was...
Oh, I thought steal happened.
Yeah, that was very messy there.
That was such a bad smite.
I don't think there was a smite involved, was there? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, he didn't have it. That's why. Okay, that's forgivable then.
Yeah, this game looks much better out of Flash. I think they had a very clear game plan. Player on top lane, mid and bot will just survive. They are Lux and Ezreal paired up with Tahm Kench, so just ignore the other two lanes. Player on top. They capitalized on YT's expanded Flash there. I'm still not quite sure if you can actually fault YT for using his Flash there. I think that's just instinct. He didn't think about the implications. Yeah. It's very unfortunate for him.
Oh my god, that animation again. What is going on with the spectator client?
I really don't understand.
That is a lot of damage there onto Taurus. They will have to back off after just getting the tower.
Poor CBL.
Potential here. They really lose a lot. Oh no! Lee Sin getting dragged into the middle of the team.
Yeah.
CBL being traded for Knight. That's a trade you take, I think.
He thought a bit about going into the meat grinder in the end. He still made the trip, and I'm not sure if he's regretting it. I think he at least got the kill, so he's fine with that. Ooh! ADC plays coming out. Oh.
Yep.
Slater is probably spamming question mark pings in the all chat right now, or question marks on the map. I'm not quite sure what that was from Easy Love.
That was a bit strange.
Bit of a tilt move there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's desperation.
Yeah.
Just really wants to, like, if he could kill Slater there, that's a pretty big play. But
yeah. It's very unlikely, very, very unlikely to kill Slater in that position. I actually have to say I've fallen in love with Slater after seeing those two Ezreal games. I love his itemization. I think, he goes for the exact right items on the Ezreal. Very big 3-item power spike with the Ludens completed soon. Very strong 2-item power spike on the Trinity Force as well. So I like to see this kind of Ezreal. I think this Ezreal is the better version right now, because the other Ezreal is a bit weak in terms of damage compared to the crit ADCs. Which, to be fair, in this game he doesn't.
I like no boots at 22 minutes.
He's Ezreal. He doesn't care. He has the magical boots. Yeah, spell fan boots are very good. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree.
But, I mean, very minor detail here. His build is great. He's played really well as well. Slater's had a great series.
Oh, Ronopi gets caught.
Ronopi gets caught, but does manage to flash out. That's a good equalizer, doing a lot of zoning. The Nautilus will get a knock up as well, but there's just no damage. There's just nothing there. The lead is too big. 10k gold.
Slapping them with their wallets, as LCK casts like to call it. This was not a team fight they would have won with equal gold, but yeah, the gold is not equal, and we saw the implications of that situation there.
Yeah, that's 2 inhibs down. Baron runs out in 5 seconds, but I'm pretty sure that's a pretty good Baron power play. We don't have the exact gold numbers on it, but
yeah,
it's a good one. 2 inhibs, I'll take that every day.
The most important question for the rest of this game is, will Lux hit 25 pages?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That Lux ult
I mean,
was
Optimus has,
very, very boosted. Wow.
I disagree. Why not? It's got such a short cooldown.
Yeah, I don't think using Lux ult is bad there, but he did use the Lux ult as his first spell, negating
That's
the
true.
extra effect of the Lux ult, which is,
That's a little
I
bit.
mean, it doesn't matter at all, but it looked not great.
Still, we have to find something about Flash's play to criticize, because otherwise it's been pretty clean.
Yeah, the second game has been so much better than the first, looking like one of the top teams, I think. After seeing 6 teams
Also-
play,
Interesting. Zeke's convergence on Sejuani.
yeah, it's already in use here. Slowing down's easy love.
Yeah. Yep, and Yado just dies, so does Easy Love. Goodbye. Nautilus, you're going to go as well. You're all having a look at the Crocodile Rock. Good night.
And
This is just going to be...
Oh, Knight gets the Dragon Force team. Very good effort for him. Turning around the game here with 2 Infernal Drakes.
Yep, 2 Infernals. Like, how can Flash hope to keep up in terms of stats?
Yeah, it's
Basically,
very hard for them now to compare to Cerberus. Double Zonyas.
yeah. And they go golden to buy themselves a little bit of a better KD, in Knight's case at least. But yeah, this will be game, and that's series. Flash looked really good. Cerberus,
Not so much.
Good
Yeah, I agree.
not a good day.
Yeah, first look from both of those teams, and Flash, formerly Sky Gaming, still looking like one of the top teams. So far we have seen 6 teams in the 2 days. We'll see the other 2 teams in, I guess, 2 hours or 1.5 hours. And I think, yeah, Flash has a bit of a case for themselves to be the best team, performing team at least right now after those 2 games.
Yep.
I really don't want to give it over to Dashing Buffaloes after the game that happened yesterday. First series, I think EVOS looked good after the first game, so maybe if EVOS can show more performances like the second and third game in the first series, they are to be considered a good team as well.
Yeah, I think that's very true. I think it's hard to judge every team just because you have to base it on who they're playing against. It's very hard to do after one.
Very good point. EVOS also played against FTV, so not the greatest opposition for them, and they lost the first game. So maybe EVOS not quite in the upper echelons so far. At least they have a serious win under the belt.
Yeah. Yeah, I think,
Would you give MVP to Taurus or to the Sejuani, to Yijin there?
I would give it to Taurus.
I think Taurus earned it. He fell down the solo kill though in the early game. He made up for it with another solo kill.
I don't think the solo kill ended up mattering at all, really.
I think Taurus is a fair choice. He pushed his lead very good, and
I think like Yijin also had a great game. Like it really was a 2-man effort up in the top lane, but I think in the end I'd probably give it to Taurus.
Yeah, I agree. So we have Taurus and Slater as our 2 MVPs for the series.
Yep.
And now the really important question is who will win in the next series, because we have probably the highlight of the first 2 days of VCS at our hands with the reintroduction for Levi into the Vietnamese scene.
Yep, that's exciting.
I'm sure you all are also excited about Gam's return. Sadly without Zeros in the first series, but we'll see Levi return to the stage. And their opponents will not be an easy task, I think, with Low-Key Esports, formerly Friends Forever, the 4th place team in spring. They already have a big challenge ahead of them in a few hours from now. So we'll really get to see a good look from Gam and can evaluate if they are actually a force to be reckoned with in this series split, I should say.
Well, I mean, if Loki can come in and take it to Gam, I think that's a massive showing from them. I think all the expectation is on the Gigabit Marine here, but we will see we'll see what happens in that next series. It's certainly going to be the highlight, hopefully.
Yeah, and I really hope for a better meta read. I think this series showed that some teams are still kind of behind in terms of meta read. It's always interesting how different teams adapt to different to the patch differently. Today we saw so far not a single Lux in the bot lane, no Dumi picked up in the bot lane there. Lucian also I don't think is seen that much anymore around the world. No Caitlyn pick, no Sivir. The Sivir was just really weird, as you pointed out in Champion Select.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I really don't understand either.
But yeah, we'll have to see how it shapes up in the next series. I think the draft is something I really hope to be better.
So far we have not seen the timer for the next series. I hope we get to see how long we'll have to wait to see Gearward Marines play. Usually the starting time is in 1 hour and 20 minutes. Yesterday we had a bit of a longer pause, probably because the first series took a bit longer to finish. Oh, Yijin gets the MVP here. Fair choice as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with it.
No deaths. Strong performance.
Yeah.
Actually, I think both junglers look good in the series. Maybe not so much in the first game on Yijin's side with the Gregor's party ultimates. He didn't really contribute that much to the game, to be honest. But
that's true. I think it was interesting. Yijin, the kegs were interesting, but other than that, I think he played pretty well on McGregor's. Yeah. And then get Sejuani.
Looking at Cerberus for a bit, because they will be playing another series this week. Do you think they should adapt their roster, or do you think they should field the same 5 players again? Because they still have a lot of.
It depends who they've got on the bench.
They still have their mid laner turned jungler Pot as a jungle sub, and they have another mid laner sitting on the bench as well, Parquet. Both were not playing today. Both mid laners from last season. Now neither of them is playing mid lane for them, so that's a bit weird.
I definitely don't think you need to do any subbing in the jungle. I don't think their jungle pick. Oh wow, that's a fairly long break there.
Yeah.
I don't think that they had too many problems in the jungle. I don't think it was really on.
Yeah, I think Knight played a good series.
Yeah, I think Knight. I mean, his Lee Sin game was pretty unimpressive, but he was a Lee Sin behind.
Yeah, that's very true. I still don't like the picks, but that's not his fault, most probably. Maybe it is, but yeah, his gameplay in game 1 was very good on the Elise. Maybe think about a mid lane sub. I think their biggest problem actually was not a single player. Maybe Ron OP was not great, but overall the team cohesion just didn't look good, especially in game 1. The game 2 was more of a stomp coming from the top side, but in game 1 they had the opportunity to win the game, most definitely.
Yeah, they did, absolutely. But yeah, we'll have to see what they do. It's going to be interesting.
Yep, and we'll be back for the next series in, as you can see, about 73 minutes. I hope you'll be there to watch the game with us in an hour or so, and see you guys then.
It's going to be a hype matchup. Get your friends. We'll see you then.